everyone. Welcome back. Today we are looking at the ASP from G.I. Joe. Now, uh, I said that June for me is going to be National Pride Month, which correlates the best way I can think about it is G.I. Joe. Mainly because, we pull people from all around the world to be in G.I. Joe. Uh, whether you're a fan of the comics, you're a fan of the old original cartoon, which is how I got into it. I really didn't get into the comics. My parents weren't going to buy them for me, so that's why I really didn't get into them. Or you're a fan of the movies, whatever. Um, this series is going to it'll span the month for sure. We'll see how much farther we go on into it. This is stuff that I created trying to take GI Joe and put it into the D6 universe. So these are things that I had kind of come up with. Whether you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I can always change things. This is, like I said, this is for me to take G.I. Joe, put it into the D6 universe, whether it then rolls into like a Star Wars or just stays like a modern fantasy adventure game itself or whatever. Um, I had started doing this after, um, uh, geez, no, they came out with GI Joe as a role playing game from, and I'm just failing here. Um, yeah, from them, um, Renegade Studios. My mind is finally catching up with me. So, so like I said, this is my take on it. Um, I thought the mechanics of what Renegade Studios had done was a little clunky. Um, I'm not trying to say that they have a bad product or whatever else. It's just the way that I normally run things. I do love the D6 system. I think it is very useful in so many ways for so many different things. That's why I created this. Um, like I said, if you agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments. That's perfectly fine. So what we're looking at is this is the ASP. Um, I'm considering it like a speeder scale, so it'd be a vehicle scale pod vehicle, whatever you want to call it. It is roughly about 20 feet. So that actually comes from the dimensions that we get from the box of the vehicle. It only requires a crew of one. Now, I'm going to say I'm taking this more from the cartoon. So all these vehicles are a little bit more from the cartoon. They're going to have laser cannons and stuff like that. Um, if you want it more like the comic book, and then have them actually use shells, go for it. Um, so that's where I'm gonna kind of go with this. Of course, this is a towed vehicle, you know, so it's not really going to be able to move itself. You're going to have full coverage in here. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to say that this is going to be a full coverage vehicle, so your person inside there is going to be perfectly safe. And I'm going to say it's a very durable pod here. I gave it a body strength of 4D. Like I said, whether you agree or disagree, let me know. So we have two twin laser cannons. If you want this to be a ammo based vehicle, um, we have 80 millimeter cannons on the Hiss. So I would say maybe 80 millimeter cannons on this as well. Um, give or give or take, whatever. Um, okay, and I'm going to say that this is going to be at a Walker scale. Um, I give it a fire control of 2D. So figuring that because its only purpose is to sit there and shoot at whatever vehicles or whatever, I felt that that was kind of an important thing here. So I did give it a range of going to 200 meters for short, 800 meters for medium, and 2 kilometers for long range. Taking some of these ideas I grabbed from Star Wars. So keep in mind, this is heavily influenced off of different vehicles in Star Wars. So I wanted to give it a little bit of that, but it does actually state the range on some of the box art. So wherever I could grab stuff from actual G.I. Joe, I took it. I will admit there are later on vehicles that we have. I know that there were vehicles I did later on when I was going through all this that I didn't follow what the box said, because I thought the box was a little out there as far as what it could actually do. And if you would rather have it that way, um, go for it. Most of the information I got from yojo.com. So if you want to look at it, go for it. And like I said, I'm just taking these vehicles and I'm just putting them into a D6 universe. And I gave it a damage of 6D. So it is a high damage vehicle. But there again, when you're looking at it in a Star Wars perspective, okay, so this is going against walkers. So this is meant to go up against armored vehicles. So I'll say it's more like a armor piercing round or so. Um, it doesn't equate in I'll say correctly, but it's the system I'm working with, because when you look at an armor piercing, it's supposed to keep its shape. Okay, so when it goes through that heavy steel, it should be able to puncture through it. The problem is when you try to equate it down to an actual person, um, it doesn't equate as good. I do know that when I was in the army and I was a driver for a year on a Bradley, they did talk to us and say we are not to use armor piercing on infantry, because we had a 20 millimeter or 25 millimeter uh, cannon on there. My mind gets a little fuzzy on that. I think it is a 25 Mike. Um, like I said, it's been many years, so it's not like I'm sitting there loading this stuff all the time and handling it. Um, but you know, so when you're looking at Walker, and if you're going against infantry, okay, because they're now smaller, it goes from Walker down to speeder down to personnel. Um, so your damage is actually going to go up 4D by doing that. So it's going to be really lethal to anyone on the ground. Um, but your fire control, you're going to be at a negative 2D to try and hit somebody because it's meant to hit bigger things. Um, so whether you want to say that this should be for walker scale or speeder scale, that's always going to be up to debate. And by all means, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about it. But I figured, we have a wonderful month here. Why not start doing this? I was thinking about doing this later on, but I think it's a good time to start hitting this. For anyone else that's out there that loves the D6 system as much as I do, maybe this is an idea that you never thought of, and that's why I'm bringing this to you. So, with that being said, hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.